first este ceea ce speră de fapt americanii să obțină pe plan internațional în funcție de regiune. Sunt multe alte provocări, Cristina.
Sigur că da, și discursul lui Donald Trump a menționat chiar o parte din aceste provocări și a fost extraordinar de direct, asta trebuie să spunem, pentru că practic discutam chiar cu invitatul pe care o să vi-l prezentăm imediat, este unul dintre cele mai directe discursuri inaugurale pe care le-am putut auzi de când există istoria recentă a Statelor Unite și sunt foarte multe lucruri de care Trump vrea să se ocupe, dar propun să le dezbatem cu invitatul
nostru este Nick Kass, fost diplomat, a lucrat în administrația Trump. Prima administrație Trump nu este singurul moment în care a lucrat la Casa Albă și pentru cei care nu l-au văzut ieri spun că este omul din interiorul Casei Albe și în prezent este director la NAWAF Family Office. Nick Kass, thank you so much for being with us today. It is a great pleasure. We've watched together this Trump speech, and you said when he finished, you said that it's a unique speech. Why?
Well, thank you very much, Teodora. Thank you very much, Christina. It's always wonderful to be with you. Yes, I think obviously President Trump has touched on many of these themes over the years, but as an inauguration speech coming after a resounding victory where people basically confirmed that, yes, this is what they want, the importance of this speech and what he talked about takes on a new salience and a new significance, I think, as we move ahead. And I thought it was very, very powerful, very much unlike previous speeches that we've heard in its commitment to its agenda. And we are now here, and the question is the hard work that's lying ahead. And there is a lot of enormous challenges, as the president himself laid out. And so we'll be proceeding from here to see what's going on. But it was a remarkable speech.
Nick, you didn't hear, but while we were waiting to enter live, our colleagues in this studio in Bucharest at Digi24 were talking about worries that perhaps Europe and Romania are having listening to the speech, this inaugural speech of Donald Trump. What's your take on this one? Do you think Europe and Romania should be worried?
Well, I think as I may have mentioned the other day, I wrote an article back in over the summer about how people in Europe needed to understand and learn the language and the grammar of the Trump administration. I think some people have done that well, others have not done that as well. Clearly, this is a different order of magnitude and a different approach than we have seen in previous administrations. But I think obviously what the president is talking about is that he wants peace and stability in the world, because the primary focus of his agenda is going to be back at home. So what does he want? He wants to strengthen the military, he wants to strengthen peace, and he wants to avoid war. And so I think everybody can listen to that, and particularly our NATO allies, and draw some comfort from that. I think that with respect to Romania, as we know, Romania occupies a very, very key area in Eastern Europe on the front line with Russia. And it has been my contention for many years now, as you know, but also I think the contention of the President of the United States that we don't want to needlessly project out. We should defend what we have and sustain what we have. And I think with his other comments, which he did make today, but he had made previously, and we talked about yesterday, about his commitment to 5% GDP for countries to participate in NATO defense. I think what that tells you is that there is a strong interest both in burden sharing, shifting the burden to Europe, but also in ensuring that Europe actually live up to that and to do that. And I think by doing that, you're going to be strengthening actually the transatlantic tie, because you're going to make it more sustainable over the long term.
Yes, but he also said that we are not going to be part of others' war. What does this mean for Romania, for Republic of Moldavia?
Well, I think the most immediately and most concretely, I think it reflects back to his position on the Ukraine war, which is one that I've shared, which is that it was a mistake. It never should have happened. It was a projection basically out of area operations for NATO, when the focus for NATO should always have been on the actually existing members, those countries that are in NATO, like Romania, and the defense of NATO territory. The idea of using NATO as a way to project power into areas that are likely to be controversial is probably going to come to an end under President Trump. So the good thing from the Romanian perspective is that Romania is part of NATO. It's a member in good standing, works well with the United States, has been a very, very good ally, and I know the Americans know this. I know this personally from my own experience having worked on Romania at the White House. So I anticipate that the relationship with the actually existing member states and with the United States will continue to be strong.
And what shall we expect from his meeting with Vladimir Putin? Because now that Trump is president, this meeting will be arranged sooner or later, but it will be arranged. We'll leave Ukraine to Russia. We cannot do that as NATO allies.
No, I think that there has to be some sort of negotiation. There will probably have to be give and take on all sides. My reading of President Trump is that he does not like to lose. He likes to win negotiations. He likes to make sure things are a win-win situation for him. And so I think he's going to be looking at potential leverage, what kind of leverage he might be able to muster. The problem that he faces, of course, is that the Biden administration put him in a bad spot. They have squandered a lot of the superior position that America once had in the region. So I'm hoping that under the tough conditions in which President Trump assumes responsibility for this issue, that he'll be able to find some way to find the most equitable solution. But it is going to be a challenge, and unfortunately the die was cast by an administration which I think will go down in history, the Biden administration, as uniquely incompetent in foreign affairs and also at home here domestically. And that's just the reality.
Thank you so much, Kass, for being with us also today. It was a pleasure also.